So Jeff is now recording the call. So we're now sat in the video. We're sat next to each other at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this is going to work. Hi, it's Paul from Lapis.
And Janet also from Lapis.
And I've just been out. I have been live on Facebook, so you probably saw that earlier. And I've just been out on a Skywatch trying to take some pictures of Jupiter.
Very nice. So whereabouts have you been?
So I'm based in Darwin. I'm just looking at the map, trying to figure out what it's actually called. Edgerton Moss, I think. It's up on the hills between Haslingden and Darwin. It's dark. There's quite a lot of traffic, but it was good enough. It's a good view to the southwest, so I could actually see Jupiter and Saturn. And if I bring up some photos.
That's a nice sky, isn't it? I like the clouds.
Yeah, this was what I could see out of my window of my house. So I thought it looks clear enough. It's worth jumping in the car.
So what time was this? This must have been about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh, this was
earlier,
probably 4:30.
Right. There's quite a lot of light in the sky.
Yeah, quite cloudy out towards the coast. So we're looking out. You can just about see Darwin Tower in the middle of that picture.
Yeah.
So the lights of the town there is Darwin. Blackburn is to the right, to the north, and we're looking west out towards the sea. So I'll upload a couple of these. There's going to be quite a lot of repetition, but I'll upload 1 or 2 of these to Facebook, and then everybody can see them. But I don't always get them in focus.
Well,
and I do repeat.
That's a bit later on.
No, that's a different camera setting.
Is it? So it was the setting that makes it darker. It's not actually. I thought the cloud formation's the same.
Yeah, this is just playing. This was just throw the camera on a tripod, take a few pictures, and see what sort of settings I need. And this is looking southwest towards where Jupiter and Saturn should be. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that is Jupiter, I think.
I'm going to say I can see something. I can see a light point in the sky, little light source. There's
2 little white dots because this is actually got motion blur. So this is one of the things that can happen. I think I was taking pictures at this point without the cable release on the camera. So when you actually go to press the button, you get movement in the camera. So if you look at the red dots, there should be 1 line of red dots on the Winter Hill television transmitter. But there's actually 2 lines of red dots because it's actually 2 pictures, one on top of the other. And again, that's movement caused by moving the camera.
Now that's nice.
So that's Jupiter, and you can, I think, barely see Saturn up and to the left of Jupiter.
I can. That's quite clear on that, actually.
That's assuming I've got them the right way around. I'm fairly certain Jupiter is the brighter of the 2. Now this one, I was looking for this one earlier because if I can zoom in, you can actually see Jupiter's moons.
You can. That is incredible.
Yeah, this is not a telescope. This is a relatively expensive camera, but it's just a camera.
Yeah.
You can't see Saturn's rings, unfortunately, because it's just not focused that well. But Saturn would have rings, and you can see Jupiter's moon. So that's a definite. I'll crop that slightly, and I'll upload that one. That's massively out of focus, and so is that. and this is just too dark to see the moons.
Mm.
So I think I may only have one really successful photograph, and that was it.
Well, that is pretty impressive, really.
Because it started to get quite murky as the sun went down and it started to go dark. It got murky. You can see on here the cloud. So the two close together in the centre are Jupiter and Saturn. And between now and the 21st of December, it's what, the 7th of December now?
It is, yes.
So over the next fortnight, they will get very, very close together. So by the solstice, we should have what will appear to be a very bright star, but it's actually two planets together. That one again, you've got blur from jogging the camera. So yeah, lots of pictures. That one obviously moved quite a lot. This is one of those things you see quite often in UFO reports. These strange lights in the sky, but in reality it's just about 5-second exposure with the camera moving quite a lot.
Yeah, when it looks like a strange shape, actually a trail or something like that.
Or like that one.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
I think I must have taken a photograph there as I was taking the camera off the tripod.
Mm.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's my car again. You can see that this is perfect example of lens flare. That's not a UFO to the top left. It's just a flare from the car headlamp.
Mm.
It was a bit muddy, but it's nice and safely off the main road, and it's dark. It does have the advantage of you get visited by the local constabulary. They wanted to know whether I had a motorbike in the boot of my car, or whether I was fly tipping.
And I imagine you will be able to reassure them on both counts about that.
Yeah, they were quite happy that I was a harmless lunatic. That's a close-up again. That's showing Winter Hill and Jupiter, but not very well. That's slightly better. Again, it's slightly out of focus, but it shows how close the two planets are together in the sky. And they will get closer. They will sink in the sky towards the horizon, and they'll get closer together. So that's just another picture looking down towards Darwin and the fading sunset. There's an obelisk on top of the hill. It's relatively modern. I've no idea why it's there.
Well,
it does make quite a good backdrop.
Quite atmospheric, isn't it? It looks quite nice.
The thing is, when you can just point your camera in the sky and take a picture like this. Mm. And the interesting thing, apart from the fact I have no idea what any of those stars, planets, or what any of them are, but is to see the different colours. When you look up at the sky at night, all the stars look like twinkly white. But in reality, they are all different colours depending on the wavelengths of light that are reaching us. So this is the obelisk with the starry sky behind it.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that. Even if it is a modern obelisk, it still looks pretty good.
It's just a really nice backdrop to take pictures. Another UFO. Because we're shooting several seconds, I think this is about 5 seconds. That's an aircraft. And it's a flashing position light, which is why it's not a continuous line. And that shows it again.
Yeah.
And again. I took quite a few of these because it was a very bright aircraft, so weird things you can see in the night sky. Although obviously this is only with a camera, not with the naked eye. It's a flashing light moving. I got carried away taking pictures of the little obelisk with the stars behind it. I won't upload all of these to Facebook. This is just another interesting thing you can do when you're out in the dark. Nothing at all to do with UFOs or astronomy. It's just fun to do a long exposure when a car drives past. So again, I did a few.
Oh, nice. Yes, it looks suitably weird. Is there any snow up there at the moment?
There's a little bit of snow left. It's a few days now. Was it 4 days since it snowed? But there's a bit left up on the tops.
Right, we don't get it here, you see. I'm too near the coast.
And that, I think there's another aircraft on that one, just above the Winter Hill Tower. In fact,
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 aircraft there. There's one above the tower.
One to the right as well.
So there's more aircraft. That's a better picture.
Mm.
There's more aircraft up in the sky now, so I didn't use the app to check which ones they are. But that's a good picture showing the that's Jupiter and Saturn, a couple of aircraft, and the whole antenna array on the top of Winter Hill. There's lots of odd things going on at Winter Hill, so that's a good picture. I'll upload that one. That slightly darker version, that might be better. These are basically taken straight after each other, just with different settings. So I think
it makes quite a difference, because some of them are a lot lighter and darker. It does make quite a difference, doesn't it?
I think that might be about 10 seconds. That might be about 8 seconds. That might be 5 seconds. The shorter exposure means it's darker because you're not getting as much light into the camera. And obviously, depending on how long your exposures are, it depends on how long these tail lights from the cars are.
Mm.
So that's just a random star field. I think, no, actually, it's not a random one, isn't this? I think this is Cassiopeia.
Is it?
But because it's slightly overexposed, you can see a lot more stars, so it's a lot more difficult to pick out the asterism or constellation. But if can you see my cursor?
I can, yeah.
So if you see that star there,
yeah,
and then that one, and possibly that one.
It could be, yeah. Actually, now you point it out, but it does. There's so many stars, it's difficult to see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what I was trying to picture. But that again should be Cassiopeia. But because you can't see the stars in the viewfinder of the camera, you don't know where you're pointing the camera. You've just got to sort of guess. But again, I think possibly there. It doesn't look right, so I'm not convinced.
No, it could be, or you could be off slightly to one side, couldn't you?
See again there.
Yeah, I can't quite see it.
But the rest of it's not there.
No.
So I think I might have been pointing in the wrong direction, slightly. This one though.
That's the plough.
That's more.
That's easy to see. I can spot that straight away, isn't it?
One of my the camera lens I was using was the 17 to 85 millimeter kit lens, which is sort of the standard lens that comes with a decent SLR camera, and it stopped working because of the cold. So this is a 50 millimeter prime lens, so it's a bit of a longer lens, so it shows a smaller section of the sky, which is why I couldn't get the whole of the plough in. So you've got the sort of the blade of the plough, but then it gets cut off up here.
Yeah, or the saucepan handle, as people used to say.
Yes, the plough or the saucepan.
Looks more like a saucepan than a plough to me.
It looks nearer to either of them than a bear.
This is true.
And then these again are just random pictures.
It's nice.
That shows the snow.
Yeah, I can see a little scattering of snow.
It was definitely cold.
It would be up there.
Yeah. Our fingers are still recovering. So this, when we get back to this one, this was when I decided to go home. Now, obviously, that's not in focus, and there's a lot of blur there from the camera moving. But this is, I got back to the house having given up because it was clouding over, and had a perfectly clear view of Saturn and Jupiter. So I stopped to try and take another picture, but it's quite difficult to get a solid mount for the camera. And this is looking up at the top of Darwin. Darwin Moor. This is up near the tower. And that's Jupiter just setting behind the hill, with Saturn following it down. I think that's the last photo.
Nice. So, good selection, haven't you?
So those are it's a reasonably advanced camera, but that's the sort of thing you can do. And if I stop sharing, and Janet's back. But that gives you an idea of the sort of things you can do with a semi-professional camera. Any camera that's capable of doing a long exposure will be able to shoot the sky. The bigger aperture you can get, the bigger actual camera physically, the more light gets in, so the more detail you can capture. But any camera that's capable of doing long exposures, you can do long exposures on a mobile phone with the right app. The difficulty there is the same as I've had, just making sure that the camera stays still. So I've been showing those now for like over 15 minutes, so we'll try and keep these videos short. But yeah, I just noticed it was a clear sky, and I thought I'll run out and try and take some pictures. Hopefully in the coming weeks we'll have some guides to show how to do that, or how to do a better job than that, hopefully, and then we can get some pictures shared.
Yeah, cool.
And hopefully Stuart's going to have his telescope out and get some really good pictures where we'll see more of the moons and hopefully Saturn's rings as well. Cool. That'll do for now. So I will stop recording.